Understand. Okay. Yeah, that's of course pretty cool for people like let's say who have alphabet in
Yeah.
their language.
Hmm.
That's like completely difficult for me. Just being able to write a single symbol on Chinese or Japanese, so the kanji,
Yeah.
that would be so hard for me. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
I noticed, especially for our Westerners, they want
yes.
to learn some Japanese or Chinese. They are
Hmm.
struggle with learning. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very much. I guess you really do need to be super talented for the Eastern languages in order to be able to learn them. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe speaking and understanding can also be easier than just writing and being like,
Hmm.
completely able to write and read the
Yeah.
symbols and everything, right? So that can be quite difficult. But it's possible. Of course, I
Yes.
also know I actually have my godfather.
Hmm.
He actually was in college and learned
Hmm.
Japanese and English
Oh.
language. So yeah, he actually finished that. He even has a master degree in
Wow.
Japanese language. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I know someone who can actually read, understand it, even speak Japanese.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, he's now working in Belgrade, which is the capital city of Serbia, my country, of course, and
Oh.
his job
Uh-huh.
isn't related, unfortunately, to Japanese. He just writes the articles, but
Hmm.
he's also a writer too. But
Wow.
yeah, unfortunately, he do not have any opportunities to use Japanese here in Serbia, and that's very
Hmm.
unfortunate. He
Oh.
actually, I guess, went to that college because he was probably really interested in that when he was younger. He used to watch like Japanese animes and those
Yeah.
kind of things, and all those things make him like to learn that and to
Hmm.
make that as his profession. But unfortunately, as I said, there are not a lot of opportunities to like
Uh-huh.
be a Japanese, let's say, translator in
Uh-huh.
Europe. Yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, there is a need for that, but just for few people. Not a lot of people are
Yeah.
needed in that
Mm.
area, let's say. But it's
Mm.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool when
Thank you.
people can
Hmm.
understand that. Yeah, you're very welcome, of course. And by the way, Paul, so since this is our first class
Yeah.
together, I would really love to introduce myself to you very shortly. Is that okay?
Okay. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So, as I previously mentioned, my name is Marx. My real name actually is Marco.
Marco.
And
Okay.
yes, that's correct. And I come from Serbia. And I'm actually a college student, and my major is business economics. But I chose this job because I really do enjoy teaching people English and, of course, meeting people all over the world. So
Hmm.
it's pretty amazing. And
Yeah.
yeah, in my free time, what I like to do the most is to play the guitar
Hmm.
that you can probably see right here. And yeah, I like to play sports as well, especially futsal.
Hmm.
So you know it, right? So just a football, but in the
Yeah.
smaller
Yeah.
field
Yeah.
with less
Mm.
people. Yeah, and I like going to gym. I go to gym like 3 times per week,
Hmm.
and I love watching movies during the. Especially during the winter season, I love going to mountains for
Hmm.
skiing.
Oh.
And yeah, and my biggest passion will definitely be traveling abroad. So I really do enjoy visiting foreign countries and, of
Hmm.
course, meeting foreign people as
Okay.
well.
Mm.
So
It's
yeah,
good. It's good.
that will be pretty much it about me. So thank you so much, Paul, for listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. And what about you? So, what can you tell me more about yourself? Or if you have
Hmm.
some questions for me, feel free to ask me, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I said, my name is Paul, and I come from Taiwan, and I am living in Taiwan now. But
Okay.
I stayed in Japan for 4 years for my master degree and my
Okay.
job. Yeah, and I majors in I don't know maybe it's very the same with you. the business administration.
Administration.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so yeah, and I got the master degree in Japan,
Okay.
and
Nice.
but I in Taiwan now. Even though
Okay.
I worked, I got the job in Japan,
Okay.
no, just for short time, just only
Hmm.
1 year. Yeah,
Okay.
and I worked as a interpreter and translator in my company. And
Hmm.
about my company, I when make some games, the mobile games to
Hmm. Okay.
public to the marketing to the markets of Japan and Taiwan, and I help my coworker to uh, to know each other. Not everyone they can speak Japanese and Chinese, so I I help them to uh, uh, communication with each other.
Okay.
And when I have free time, I go to the gym for two time a week. Yeah,
Two times per week. Okay.
yeah, and I like to uh, do some sport, just like the jogging and
Okay.
mountain climbing. Yeah,
Nice.
mm.
Okay.
I think it's almost about me.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much, of course, Paul, for
Thank you.
sharing all those information with me. You're welcome, of course. And can I ask you a few questions about you?
Okay,
That
I'm
okay?
waiting.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you mentioned that you, of course, completed a master's in Japan, and you even have worked there for 1 year, right?
Yeah,
So but if you personally can choose, let's
yeah.
say, to work in Japan or Taiwan,
Hmm.
where would you like to work and
Uh,
why?
Actually, my trigger to start to learning English is to returning to Japan for
Okay.
new work.
Okay.
My English speaking skill is not well, so I want to improve this part of of skill,
Okay.
and so yeah, I'm practicing in DNN
I
AKY.
understand. I
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Pretty good. So, yes.
and I want to get a great score in the TOEIC exam, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. It's uh, maybe the reason I cannot to do like this is because the practice is not enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah I'm trying to get a good score. Uh,
Understand.
yeah.
I understand. But of course, what you're trying to say, and yeah, as you mentioned, so for having a really, really great score at TOEIC
Hmm.
exam, um, I think, I mean, my personal opinion towards that is that when you
Hmm.
live in a country where the native speakers are, let's say, an English speakers, right?
Hmm.
So, and when you live there for like a year or two, so when you get really into the language, when you hear it every day in like
Yeah.
grocery stores or mall, in park, at work, everywhere, at that moment, then you can like have a really great score. When
Yeah.
you do not practice like many, let's say, times a week, so even
Hmm.
like 25 minutes per day
Hmm.
might not be enough for, as you mentioned, the great score. So you can
Hmm.
pass. You can
Yeah.
definitely pass.
Yeah.
But to have like a really great score for something like that, you really do need to talk a
Hmm.
lot and to listen, which is even more important in my opinion. So being able to listen the native speakers
Yeah.
and the people who are actually really good at English, so they do not need to be a native speakers to be really good,
Hmm.
but just listening is really great. And what I would like
Yeah.
to recommend all of my students is to, whenever they have like a free time,
Hmm.
like, and staying inside a home, let's say, so you should definitely like watch some American or English
Yeah.
movies or TV series or
Yes.
anything that is actually an English speaking show or whatever, right?
Yes.
So, and what is the most important, in my
Mhm.
opinion, is to
Mhm.
choose something that is interesting to you.
Yeah.
Because some people, just play on the movie that is like boring to them just to practice the listening skill, and they're like, that's boring, But
Yeah.
as I will say, and I'll repeat myself over and over, so make learning interesting and fun, and that way you're going to improve way much faster.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
especially when choosing movies or TV series, there's always a genre or type of a movie that you'll enjoy.
Mhm.
So choose that and watch that. You're going to be interested in the story, and when you're interested in story, you're going to focus more
Mhm.
to listen, and that's how you're going to improve quicker. So
Mm.
that's a very important thing. So
Yeah.
make learning interesting. As
Yeah.
long as it's interesting, you're going to improve faster. And I believe this DMMA Kaiwa is also a very interesting way to, of course,
Yes.
improve, just
Mhm.
because you get to listen and on a
Mhm.
lot of experience from many, many
Mhm.
different people from different countries as well. So it's pretty amazing, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So I'm really hoping that you're gonna have a great score in TOEIC, and of course, as
Thank you.
much as you practice, it's gonna be better. Don't you
Mhm.
worry at all. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So now, Paul, tell me this. I could, of course, notice that you requested the daily news materials for today. Am I correct?
Okay. The title
Yeah.
will be workplace gen gen gen
Germs.
gen yeah
Germs.
yeah workplace gen where they are and how to avoid them.
And how to avoid them. Okay. So, are you ready to start? I
Yes,
believe
I'm
yes.
so ready.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So then let's see. The first exercise, as always, of course, will be a vocabulary part.
Yeah.
So let's go really quickly through that, and then we're going to move to the article. So the first word will be germ.
Germ.
So a very small life form that can cause sickness and disease.
A very small life phone that
Form.
can phone that can cause sickness and disease.
Perfect. So mosquitoes can carry a number of diseases.
Uh, um, mhm. It's
Mosquitoes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mosquitoes can carry
that's
a number of diseases.
that's good.
Disease.
Disease. Very
Disease.
good.
Mhm.
Okay. The next one will be carry.
But the example you said is
Oh,
is
sorry. Yeah,
about
my
sorry.
bad. Yeah. I'm really sorry, Paul. Yeah, I must been
Yeah,
overseen this. Yeah,
it's okay.
that that's probably the reason why you got confused when saying
Okay.
mosquitoes. Okay, I'm really sorry. So let's read the of course example for germs. So as a child, Dan was afraid of germs, so he always washed his hands.
As a child, Dan was afraid of germs, so he always washed his hands.
That's good. Okay, thank you so much for understanding. Okay, so next one will now be carry.
Yeah, carry.
Yeah, so to have or be infected with bacteria or disease.
To have or be affected with bacteria or disease.
Okay, very good. So we read the example for that. So we can move on to antibacterial.
Antibacterial.
So intended to kill or reduce bacteria.
Intended to kill or reduce bacteria.
So raw garlic has antibacterial properties.
Raw garlic has antibacterial properties.
Very good. Next one will be source.
Source.
So something that provides or causes something.
Something that provides or causes something.
Very good. So oranges are a great source of vitamin C.
Orange has a great source of
Source?
yeah uh, vitamin C.
Very good. And the last word will be install.
Install
So to place something into position and make it ready to be used.
to place something into position and make it ready to be used.
Yes. So our office needs to install a wireless network.
Our office needs to install a wireless network.
Perfect. Okay, very good. So tell me now, Paul, do you maybe have some questions about this vocabulary part for me, or is everything clear here?
I think the John about this new vocabulary.
Okay,
I'm not so familiar with this word. Uh,
okay.
yeah, because in my life I have never used this vocabulary. you know.
Oh, okay.
so
Okay, I understand. I understand. Yeah, well, yeah, the germs are as we could learn, so a very small life form that can cause, of course, sickness or disease. So germs are
mhm,
bacteria, those are germs. Bacteria, virus, that's all
mhm.
part of germs.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay, okay, good. So, are you ready for the article now?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
ready for the next step.
The next step. Okay. So let's see. Once again, so the title, Workplace Germs, where they are and how to avoid them.
Workplace germs, where they are and how to avoid them.
That's good. So, if you want to stay safe from germs, it's important to regularly wash and dry your hands and to avoid touching your face after handling things that might have bacteria on them. Unfortunately, objects in the average workplace are often covered in germs. Here are some of the worst examples and how to stay safe.
If you want to stay safe from germs, it's important to regularly wash and dry your hands and to avoid hmm?
Avoid, avoid,
avoid
it's good.
touching your face after handling things that may have bacteria on them. Unfortunately, uh, objects in uh,
Average,
average
average,
average
it's good.
workplace are often covered in germs. Uh, here are some of the worst examples and how to stay safe.
Very good. Elevator buttons.
Elevator
So,
buttons. Yeah.
so a 2009 study found that 30% of elevator buttons at a large US university carried bacteria. Another study from 2014 found that 61% of elevator buttons at 3 Canadian hospitals carried bacteria, compared to 43% of toilet seats in the same buildings. It might be time to try pressing elevator buttons with your elbow.
Um, uh, 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 2009
9.
2009 a study found that 30% of elevator buttons at a large U.S. University carried bacteria. Another study from 2014 found that 61% of elevator buttons at three Canadians uh,
Canadian.
Canadian
That's good.
hospitals carries a bacteria compared to 43% of to- toilets seats in the same buildings. It may be time to try pressing elevator buttons with your uh, elbow,
Elbow.
elbow,
Elbow.
elbow,
Elbow. Yes.
elbow.
Okay. Very good. The next one is keyboards.
Yeah, keyboards.
Yeah, so most studies of bacteria on keyboards have taken place at hospitals, which have higher than usual levels of germs, but the results still suggest that keyboards are often unclean. A 2015 study at Gondar University Hospital in Ethiopia found that every keyboard they tested carried bacteria, and some of it was quite dangerous. Remember to regularly clean your keyboard with antibacterial wipes and wash your hands after using the computer.
Most studies of bacteria on keyboards has taken place at hospitals, with which has higher than usual levels of germs, but the re- results
Yes.
still suggest that keyboards are often unclean. Clean.
Mhm.
Uh, a 2015 study at uh, Gander
Gondar. Mhm.
Gander University Hospital in uh, Ethro- in Eth-
Ethiopia.
Eth-
Ethiopia.
Eth- Ethiopia
Okay.
found that every keyboard they tested carries bacteria, and some of it was quite dangerous. Remember to regularly clean your keyboards with antibacterial wipes and wash your hands after using the computer.
Very good. And the last one will be office coffee mugs.
Office coffee mugs.
Yeah. So in 1997, study by Dr. Charles Gerba found that up to 90% of mugs in office kitchens carried germs and 20% carried fecal matter. The study said that using dirty cloths or sponges to clean mugs was the source of the germs. So encourage your office manager to install a dishwasher or bring your own mug from home and don't clean it at the office.
Uh, 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 1997 study by
Yes.
Dr. Charles Gerber found that up to 19% of mugs in office kitchens carries germs, and 20% carries uh, fecal fecal
Fecal? Yes.
fecal matter. As
Good.
studies said that using dirty cloths or sponges to clean mugs was the source of the germs, and so encourage your office manager to install a dishwasher,
Yes.
uh, or bring your own mugs from home, and don't clean it at the office.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Very, very good, Paul. Okay. And tell me now, so since we unfortunately do not have any more time for today,
Yeah.
so you maybe have some questions for me about this article. Any words that are like completely new to you that you don't understand, I'll try to help you as much as I can.
Fecal. I don't know the fecal.
Fecal?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so a fecal is actually how can I explain that? So that's
the boobs.
waste, like a waste
West.
that actually goes from a human or animal body and then gets out. So
Mhm.
when you go to bathroom, so when you eat and drink, so
Mhm.
what you do in the toilet, that's a fecal. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so the things that are carried through our bodies and
Mhm.
then thrown out, right? So
Mhm.
those things are fecals. It can be through animal bodies or, of course, human bodies. So that's a
Mhm.
fecal. It's a human waste, let's say.
Human waste. Mhm.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else?
Um. Um. Eth- hmm?
Yeah.
Ethiopia. Mhm.
Ethiopia. Okay, so that's a country
Ethiopia.
in
Mhm.
Africa. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ethiopia. Yeah. A
Ethiopia.
country in Africa. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Mm, I think yeah, it's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds good. You are very welcome, Paul. Of course, unfortunately, we do not have any more time to go through questions part, but we had a bit longer introduction. We met each other. We had an amazing conversation, I believe. So, all in all, it was a really good class, if you ask me. I really enjoyed talking to you, and it really was a huge pleasure for me to meet you as well. So, now I'd love to wish you a great rest of your evening, and I really hope I'll get a chance to see you and talk to you again soon in the future, okay?
I'm looking for miss you again in the class.
Sounds perfect. So, have a good night, take care, and I'll see you next time, Paul, okay?
See you next time and good night.
Thank you so much. Good night to you as well. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.